All right, so let's get started. I know that a lot of us have some busy schedules, so I want to make sure that we give enough time to answer any questions that we might have at the end. So first off, welcome to the E&T Quarterly All-Staff Meeting. As I like to say, the end of summer one, which is so depressing. But as many of you already noticed, we are recording the session. So this is great for all of our employees that weren't able to attend for any particular reason. So that way, when it is posted on the internet, they can view it at any time that they would like. And for those of you who are here today, if you enjoyed it that much, you can watch it over and over and over again. So that should be posted on the internet probably, I'd like to say by tomorrow-ish. So a couple of housekeeping reminders. For the purpose of this meeting, we have disabled the chat feature. So we want everybody to funnel their questions through the Q&A. So as you can see towards the bottom right of your Zoom window, you'll see the Q&A feature. Now keep in mind, this is completely anonymous. So we really want people to feel comfortable asking those questions if they may not feel comfortable asking otherwise. So please, again, use that feature. Also, if you're scrolling through and see some questions that pop up that you're like, hey, that's a great question, give it a thumbs up. So that way we know there's a lot of people that, have similar questions or want to hear more about a particular topic. We will be doing our best to answer a lot of the questions throughout the presentations, but there will be some that we might reserve time towards the end because it might need a little bit more dialogue on, or maybe we just feel like it's the better route to answer it live. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the presentation so you don't miss anything. So a couple other reminders. Man, information is coming at us left and right. It seems like there's always a change in the air or something that's going on. So stay up to date. We have a lot of different platforms of getting communication out to you. Our E&T intranet site, what an amazing resource. There's a lot of information on there. So the intranet is a little bit of everything. So anything from announcements to tips, tools, resources, forms that you might need, you name it, it's on there. Now our E&T news bulletin, that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday and is sent out via email. So it hits your inbox. Very important, relevant, and timely information on there. So there's things, anything from announcing our Employee of the Month recipients, maybe a Halloween potluck sneak peek. We will be doing that this year. Also other events like blood drives, you name it, it's on there. But again, this is a lot of times focused on what's happening in E&T, but not just E&T. You'll see some campus happenings on there as well. So make sure you get in the habit of checking your emails for that particular bulletin on Tuesdays and Thursdays. 5-minute brief, that comes out every 2 weeks. So that's another form of communication where you can, stay in the know, as we like to say. And hey, when you're cruising around the department and you see those TV screens with those great graphics, take a moment, pause, because there's a lot of information that's kind of filtering through there. So, I would just want to make sure everybody is aware of what's going on because, again, things move so quickly. So please know what your resources are. And if you have any questions or need some help navigating through the internet, let me know and I'm happy to schedule some time with you. So we have some great presentations coming up from your peers. So I'm really excited to actually kick it off and hand this presentation over to our new executive director. If I could do a drum roll, I would, Tony Lucas.
Hi, I'm Tony Lucas, and looking at the screen in front of me, I see, I know, and I've met most of the people here. I know there's a lot more people behind that I don't see. Many of you are out there and maybe haven't had an opportunity to meet me. I tried to make the rounds during the summer picnic and I met a lot of you there, but I want you to know that my office is always open, my door is always open. If we haven't had an opportunity to meet, hope you'll take a moment just to come by and say hello. I come to you with about 27 years of experience. I'm a retired military officer, and also with around 26 years of experience within the California State University system, with my final position with CSU. was as an Associate Vice President for Business Administrative Services, of which about of that 26 years service to the CSU, about 10 of that was directly in parking and transportation, and another 5 of it was working kind of in a similar role to what I'm doing right now. So I really look forward to meeting and working with most of you that I haven't met yet. And for those of you I have met, I've really enjoyed working with you. So again, I'm pretty available to meet with you, at least until my calendar fills up, and that's going to start happening pretty quickly. So come on by, say hello, get to know me a little bit, and let me get to know you as well. So speaking of being new, I'm new to the UCLA community, also new to LA. I previously lived in Sacramento, Sac State, and then at Cal State Monterey Bay in Monterey, both of those for about 15 years. So look forward to, again, meeting with you. So if Robin, can you flip the slide and I can introduce a few of our new staff. The first one who's here with us today is Alicia Morales. She's one of our business process analysts, and she works within the central administration office, immediately kind of outside, using some of the flex space which she's in the office. So welcome, Alicia. Jansen New, he is one of our operators, and I've been very fortunate to be able to see him. He came in a couple weeks after I did, and I met him at the first new employee orientation, and he happens to be the driver of the bus that I take at the end of the day. So if you see Jansen on the bus, or if you see him around, make sure you welcome and give him a nice brew and welcome. I forgot to mention when Alicia checked in, I met her. I think on the same day. We both started on the same day, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, we're both still in a little bit of new environment shock, but I can tell you from my perspective, I love it. It's been a great time. The next new employee is Guillermo Pinello. He's one of our valet attendants in CMPS. So again, I haven't had an opportunity to meet Guillermo in person yet, but I'm sure I'm going to walk by and say hello to him. And finally, I've had the great pleasure of having several meetings with Raquel Santiago. She works with Fleet and Transit. We've been working on with Dave, Kowalski and Clinton and Elizabeth on a grant. But interestingly, the first time I met Raquel was we were both at the door trying to figure out how to get into the department. So that was one of our connections. So again, if you see some new faces around, that's a really good thing. Make sure that you reach out and say hello, welcome them. Be prepared to introduce yourself a couple times, because this is a very large department, and you know, for at least speaking on my behalf, I'm struggling a little bit with a lot of the names, but you know, I'll try to get it right. So anyway, thank you very much for the welcome that I've received so far, and I turn it over now to Robin to introduce our next speaker.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tony. That was very meaningful, and it's so nice to put a face with the name. All right, Tirza, it's all yours.
Thanks, Robin, and good morning, everyone. Just a quick disclaimer, I apologize if I don't sound great. I'm recovering from a cold, so apologies if I sound a little congested or like I'm sick. So I'll be presenting on behalf of Commuter and Parking Services today. As many of you probably know, Commuter and Parking Services has a couple different units, so I'll go through updates for each of our units. So I'm going to start with updates from the CMPS administration unit. So as many of you already know, UC Events and Transportation is established as an accredited parking organization, or APO, with distinctions through the International Parking and Mobility Institute, or IPMI. We are in the process of having our APO seal added to the transportation website so that we can be recognized and identified for this achievement. Additionally, our CMPS admin team is looking for ideas for upcoming Learn at Lunch sessions and submissions for our featured articles section of our CMPS Operational Updates blog. So if you have a topic in mind you'd like to hear about or are interested in helping present for a Learn at Lunch, or maybe you want to write an article about yourself, your job, or a hobby that you like to do, please reach out to myself or my colleague, Jonah Lamas, and we'd really love to work with you and get that put together. We'd also like to share that pre-employment drug test screenings are now no longer required for the student job positions in events and transportation. So this includes our own CMPS student jobs in valet, parking assets, and Bruin commuter programs. So the elimination of this requirement will speed up the hiring process and allow our department to onboard new student employees more quickly. Moving along to our Bruin commuter programs unit, our first update is that effective July 1st, 2024, we will no longer be offering the clean fuel permit. However, ongoing complimentary level 1 charging will continue to be available for EV owners. Our second important update is about PS18. As many of you may already know, based off the Bruin post that was sent out on August 25th, PS18 will be closing indefinitely to undergo repairs. In order for repairs to be completed, all vehicle and pedestrian traffic within the structure will need to be cleared. So departmental commute coordinators have already been notified of the need to relocate existing permit holders out of PS18. They were notified on August 28th. And between now and September 22nd, permit holders will be notified through various channels to cancel their PS18 permit and repurchase the permit in their new reassigned structure or area. Then, beginning on September 24th, no vehicles will be parking in PS18. Any vehicles found in PS18 by the 28th of September will be relocated by parking enforcement to another parking area. Clearing the structure by the state will ensure that the structure is ready to start undergoing repairs. Next, I'd like to share updates from our medical and offsite parking operations unit. First off, in preparation for the closure of PS18 that I just mentioned, the medical operations team is working to deploy pedestrian and overflow signage for patients to ensure they can access medical areas like Jules Stein without any impacts. Second, the medical operations team has launched 2 new intake forms. The first for space leases to be used by internal and external customers, and the second to track use of university vehicles. Lastly, the newly acquired trust building, located in downtown LA, has been added to our list of asset management allotments and will be known as PS50. Recently, members of the CMPS team conducted a site visit to the trust building to assess the area and consult with UC Real Estate on how best to run the operation there. Last, but certainly not least, I'll share updates from our parking assets and security unit. The parking enforcement team is preparing for this year's dorm move-in, which will take place from September 20th through September 24th. Approximately 15,000 students will move in during this time, and we really need your help. As part of the All Hands on Deck program, we're currently collecting volunteers for dorm move-in. We highly encourage everyone to sign up for at least 1 shift or more if you're able to. So you can scan the QR screen on the code. I'm getting all jumbled here. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen, or the E&T intranet also has the sign-up information if you're interested in signing up for a shift or 2 or 3 or 4, however many you're able and willing to do. Next, for parking assets and facilities management team, they did complete 2 projects recently. So a structural assessment in PS2 and the installation of 25 110 EV outlets in PS9 and 48 110 EV outlets in PS2. Additionally, they're working on a new project to add permanent exit signs to our office space within Suite 100. And they're working on 2 additional safety and maintenance projects, which include adding hand railings to PS9 and sump pumps in PS7 and PSSB. This concludes the updates for the CMPS team, and I'll now pass it over to Prachi from Finance Systems and Analytics.
Thank you, Teresa. Hello, everyone. My name is Prachi Balaji, and I'm presenting for Finance Systems and Analytics team. Bruin by Plus, UCLA's new procurement platform, is set to launch on January 2nd, 2024. To ensure a smooth transition, instructor-led training sessions will be conducted starting in November. These sessions will be tailored for both department buyers and PAN reviewers. I want to stress the importance of planning ahead to facilitate a smooth deployment of all purchasing and invoicing during our last 2 weeks of December. The shutdown is a crucial step in our transition process. In our continuous effort to improve and adapt, we are preparing to migrate to the new Ascent 2.0 chart of accounts. Our finance team has been hard at work mapping more than 8,000 FAUs for the events and transportation. Finance has also been an active participant in a campus-wide initiative aimed at cleaning up approximately 250 holds and incomplete transactions, commonly known as H&Is within our department, shifting focus to Transportation Project Management Group. TPMG has been diligently collecting requirements and undergoing a re-engineering process to streamline complex rules for the transit portal replacement. To support this effort, the group is collaborating with a third-party cloud solution, working with urgency, a certified Salesforce consulting team for the new platform. Our goal is to have the new transit portal up and running by the year 2024. As you may know, Bruin Car is based in Structure 8, serving our campus community effectively. We have now expanded our reach by introducing a new location for motor pool in Structure 4. To support this expansion, we have installed a new Agile Fleet Commander key box in Structure 4, which means you can now access motor pool service from this more centrally located spot on campus. University of California passed a new UC-fied GRLN policy in 2021, and all areas of business are required to adhere to this policy. This policy ensures that all individuals across UC campus are provided with university-issued identification that displays the accurate gender identity and preferred names. We are actively working on implementing changes, starting with staff data to capture lived names instead of legal names, and TPMG intends to complete this by December 31st, 2023. Now shifting gears to IT Group. This summer, we achieved a major milestone by launching the Commuter All Access Pass program. This innovative initiative unifies product from 7 different commuters and local agencies into a single pass. Undergraduate students supported a universal fare-free transit pass, leading to introduction of Bruin U Pass product on the transit portal. Our goal is to distribute 16,000 tap cards to undergraduates this fall. Our primary backup system reached its end of life, prompting a migration to the rubric system. This upgrade enhances data backup and recovery, crucial in scenarios like ransom attacks. Lastly, analytics has some exciting updates for all geared towards enhancing efficiency and service quality. The team has been gathering comprehensive miles per gallon data for every vehicle in our commuter fleet. This initiative is pivotal in supporting our commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emission on campus. Additionally, the team is in the final stage of refining the new daily beat system. The system is set to revolutionize our parking operations by providing a holistic view of all events, regardless of their type or the system they originate from. It will provide a complete situational awareness to the parking operations team. Our analytics team is hard at work developing a cutting-edge code library repository. This resource is a game changer, enabling us to swiftly reproduce data requests and share knowledge about our data sources with ease. With that, I'll pass it over to Alyssa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prachi. Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia Morales. I'm the new business process analyst, and I have the updates for central administration. Events and Transportation's 2023 full survey results have just been posted to the intranet, so you can navigate to training and development and click on the work environment survey. There's a report for E&T's overall results, as well as links for the individual response groups. Please note that in order to maintain anonymity, organizational effectiveness and development only provides reports for groups that had at least 20 respondents. We also made a special request to create a Tableau view that allows one to view results for multiple groups at the same time. At the bottom of that page, there's a link to view 2022's Work Environment Survey results. Training and organizational development will be coordinating coaching conversations this fall. So take a look at the intranet to review the resources available and ensure that your conversation is productive and meaningful. Coaching conversations will be due no later than Friday, October 27th, so keep an eye out for additional information. This year, we have new advisors representing E&T on the Administration Equity Council. Congratulations to Abdul Faye from Commuter and Parking Services and Hilda Valdez from Central Administration. A big thank you to Jonah Lamas and Veronica Martinez for all of their work and valuable contributions as the first Equity Council advisors. UCLA is modifying its COVID-19 protocols. Current protocols for positive results require staff to notify occupational health at the phone number listed. Students should continue reporting positive results to the UCLA ASH COVID hotline by the phone number or by email. Tests are now being managed by California Department of Public Health, as UCLA no longer has access to PCR results. So it's very important that you report positive results to either occupational health or ASH. If you test positive and have symptoms, isolate for at least 5 days, contact your physician, and wear a highly protective mask around others, even at home, such as a N95, KN95, or KF94. Oh, sorry. If you return to work after 5 days, you're required to wear a mask at the workplace for a total of 10 days after your positive test. If you are positive and are asymptomatic, you must wear a highly protective mask around others for at least 10 days. Additional information can be found at the link on the page and on the intranet. Lastly, there are 4 current active job postings at Events and Transportation. The first is for a senior financial analyst within Transportation Services, and the other 3 are for Bruin Bus transit operators serving in a full-time, part-time, and 70% role within Fleet and Transit. If you or anyone you know is interested in applying, please visit the UCLA career website. And I'll pass it on to Robin now.
All right. Thank you so much, Alicia. Great information. All right, so now we're going to talk about our employees, our favorite topic. So in case you missed some of the announcements in our E&T news bulletins, I'm going to share with you some of the Employee of the Month recipients since the last time we met. So to kick it off, hard to go back in time here. Back in April, so we had Francisco Diaz. He was our operational employee of the month, and he works for our valet team. We have Michelle Peralejo, who works for Central Admin. She was our administrative April employee of the month recipient. Then we have, for May, we have Laura Orvañanos, who represented the assets team, and Yvonne Popacoa from our central admin team. For June, we had Carrie Lewis, who was from our assets team as well, and Tom Poveromo, who represented Fleet and Transit. Rounding out July, we had Samson Abebe and Catherine Yam. Samson is from our valet team, and Catherine is from Commuter and Parking Services. So let's give them a virtual round of applause for all of their hard work and dedication. But to not be outshined, our students are also doing some pretty amazing things. Back in April, we had Gianna Clara from our valet team. We had Asia Duarte, who is representing our assets team. So Gianna was April and Asia was May, Student Employee of the Month. And then we have Emily Garcia, who was our June Employee of the Month, also representing assets. And let's not forget about Ricardo Alvarado, who was our July Student Employee of the Month, and he works down over in our valet team. So again, I just want to give them a round of applause. We have employees that are doing some amazing things, so we can't highlight them often enough. So thank you all for your hard work and dedication. So I'm going to now transition over. We actually have a special guest speaker today. We actually have Jonathan Batak, who will be speaking on behalf of the UCLA Blood and Platelet Center and letting us know all the benefits that we might not be aware of. So Jonathan, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, hi, thank you, Robin. Hi, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I'm filling in for Tom today. He's out of town, but hopefully I could convince some of you guys to consider donating. It's a really great thing. So if you don't know, we are the UCLA Blood and Platelet Center. We are actually the first and largest hospital-based donation center in the nation. And basically what that means is that all the blood that we collect from our faculty, students, community members, they will go directly to our patients in Ronald Reagan and Santa Monica hospitals. But unfortunately, we don't collect everything that we need. So we have to buy from third parties like the Red Cross. But since UCLA is such a diverse and big population, we are coming to students and departments like yours to hopefully convince some of you guys to donate. And you might be wondering, why should I donate? Well, again, all the blood that you donate will go to our cancer patients, trauma patients, people undergoing surgeries. In fact, about a fourth of us will need a transfusion in our lifetime. So hopefully we could get you guys to think proactively about donating. And this will come at a later time. Tom will follow up with this, but he offers tours of our component processing lab, where you can learn more about the importance of donating and even see how blood is processed after we draw it from our donors. So who can donate? There is some discrepancy. Not everyone can donate. Things like travel and medication can definitely affect eligibility. So there's a QR code to your right where you could scan and sort of self-screen yourself before you come in. We highly encourage that. In fact, we had some really great news recently. The FDA has scaled back some of their regulations. So starting September 25th, we will be asking questions in no regards no regarding sexual orientation or gender. We're aiming for a more inclusive environment so that we can get a lot of people to donate. And to donate, it's actually just really, really easy. About an hour out of your day, you come in, fill out some paperwork. We'll take some history and get your vitals, and then you're off sending your blood, which is just about a 5 to 10 minute process. So hopefully it's not too much out of your day. And we just have amazing staff. We want to make sure that you're well taken care of, that you come back, of course. And in fact, we also have some gifts that I would like to share. So on your way out, you could pick up a movie ticket from AMC, Regal, other theaters, gift cards to Starbucks, In-N-Out, and Amazon, ASUCLA meal vouchers. And we have certain promotions throughout the year. Like sometimes there are weeks where you could get a backpack or shirts. So you could be on the lookout for those. And here's a really attractive option for many UCLA employees, comp time, which is just 4 hours per donation every 56 days, and all represented staff are eligible for that. So hopefully I convinced some of you guys to at least consider donating. It's all we ask. But if you are ready to go, we have a QR code right there to your right, where you could scan and set up an appointment. We have 2 centers, one on Gailey, which is in Westwood Village, and Ackerman in the Student Union. Yeah, you could scan that QR code, come in on your day, and we'll take care of you. Thank you guys so much for your time. You can move on to the next slide. There's some contact info there if you need help setting up an appointment or any questions about eligibility. And also please check out our website. We have great stories of donors who given their blood. Many recipients, of course, very life-saving procedures. So thank you guys so much. I'll stick around for a few minutes to answer any questions, but thank you, and I'll hand it off to Robin.
Great. No, thank you, Jonathan. I think this is a great reminder for all of us. So many benefits all around. So thank you. So I'm going to now kick the presentation over to Rylan Liu from Mobility Planning and Traffic Systems.
Morning, everyone. I'm here to talk about some of the great work that we're doing over in mobility planning and traffic systems. We have 3 areas: traffic, active transportation, and transit, and there's lots of stuff going on in all of them. If you're on campus these days, you may notice construction crews busy at work. You may notice people busy assembling signs, putting up bike parking, and a lot of this work is our work. So many projects keep coming through our pipeline that I've come to see why we're called UCLA, under construction like always. To start off with, we'll go to our active transportation unit. Emily submitted our application for the Bicycle Friendly University program, an initiative of the League of American Bicyclists, which recognizes higher ed institutions that make efforts of remote biking on their campuses this past month. We expect to hear the results back in November. The Earn a Bike program will be starting up again in October. The Earn a Bike program provides qualified participants with the opportunity to trade in their parking permit for a free bicycle. And finally, in big news, the bike shop reopened on July 19th, following its COVID-era closure. The shop is now fully staffed. There are bike parts for sale, bike repairs, and loaner bikes. And the hours are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Friday. Getting into our traffic systems, because we all know that's a big deal in LA. We are working on traffic management right now for the Cogen plant equipment replacement project. Starting next month in October, crews will be active each morning on the north side of Young Drive South, replacing the gas turbines and heat steam recovery generators at the Cogen plant. 2 travel lanes on the north side, that's 2 travel lanes, will be closed for 20 months from October 2023 up until spring of 2025 to provide a staging area for construction crews. This temporarily reconfigures the roadway to 1 lane per direction, where it's currently 2 lanes per direction, in the center portion of the segment between Gailey and Westwood Plaza. There may also be additional impacts for a few weeks during the period of construction due to crane operations. We're working on a design that maintains ER access, as safety is always our #1 priority. Getting into our capital projects, we recently completed the Royce Sycamore intersection upgrades. These improve pedestrian mobility at Royce Drive and Sycamore Court by adding a curb ramp at the northeast corner. We just started work Tuesday on the Strathmore Median cutout, which cuts out openings at Strathmore Median by the lot entrances. These openings will be open to traffic during basketball games to facilitate exits by customers from Lot 8 after games, reducing queuing on the campus. We are upgrading signal hardware and software at intersections like Bruin and Young Drive West to keep up with the latest technology. Since we're the #1 public university, we try to stay on the cutting edge with our signal systems. And related to this, we're developing more bicycle and pedestrian-friendly signals. Bicycle-sensitive detectors at signals that will make bikes weightless for the light to change are going to be installed across campus. They're also going to install accessible pedestrian signals that are easier to use for the individually impaired at 2 locations. And last but certainly not least are our transit programs. We have the undergraduate transit pass launching this fall. Prachi talked a little bit about it. Students passed a fee for public transit passes last spring, and now every student who wants it gets a transit pass. We have the Bruin Grad Pass referendum coming up. Grad students will have their own referendum vote this fall to determine whether they'll extend the Bruin Grad Pass program, which provides fee-based transit passes for all graduate students, similar to the undergrad transit pass. We're looking into providing 2 days of courtesy transit to new hires, the same way we provide 2 days of courtesy parking when a new employee is hired. This is in talks with Metro right now. It could be effectuated using a promo code on the Metro phone app. And finally, we've been working with commuter and parking services on developing a comprehensive commuter pass. Called the Commuter All Access Pass, or CAP for short, covers 4 commuter lines: Santa Clarita Transit, Antelope Valley Transit Authority, Long Beach Transit, and LADOT that were previously covered by separate passes. And that's it.
Thanks, Ryland. So I think what next on deck is Giovanni Rodriguez.
Hi, good morning. I'm Gio with Fleet and Transit, and these are our updates. So Fleet and Transit has been named #1 greenest university fleet in North America, #6 greenest fleet overall among public fleets. The recognition is for use of alternative fuels, our EV and hybrid vehicle purchasing policy, as well as our overall green initiatives to reduce our overall carbon footprint. Bruin car rates have gone up this fiscal year so that Bruin car can continue to bring accessible rentals to the campus community while staying competitive with major rental vendors. We offer hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly rates, all available to accommodate any need. With the purchase of new LSV, cart rentals have become readily available on campus. With as little as an hour's notice, a registered user can rent a cart for on-campus use at our in-house rate. Bruin car enhancements to Structure 4. Bruin car is almost ready to launch Structure 4's kiosk for general partners. We are currently working with parking to secure 11 parking spaces in Structure 4 North Level 1. As of this past quarter, we have concluded our successful trial period with our partners. We plan to officially open the kiosk in the upcoming fall. Fleet and Transit's 2 new flyer buses. We'd like to give special thanks to Tom for being able to procure the new buses for transit and having them delivered prior to the fiscal close. The new buses are 40 feet long, have a seating capacity of 40, and can accommodate a total of 50 passengers, including standees. They have a 250-mile range on a full charge, and they are intended to be used for the U1, U2, and U4 routes, as well as for private charter services. 2 older CNG buses were retired in order to make way for the 2 new flyer buses. These as well made us eligible for the VW Trust Grant, which helped pay for the buses. LA Metro's Transit or Access for All grant. Access for All grant, Fleet and Transit was awarded a grant of over $250,000 for Bruin Access and Safe Ride. The grant will be used to expand the access vehicle services provided by transit to the campus community. Funds will support the hiring of more staff and drivers, pay for driver training, the expansion of the current operations, and the marketing plan to spread awareness of the existence of these services. The grant is currently under review to determine funding allocation and waiver requests. Self-service fleet and transit vehicle data access. F&T's billing financial reports are moving to the cloud. Customer Access Portal, or CAP, will be replacing our old billing system, OBA, or the Online Billing Access Portal. CAP offers a more user-friendly interface to better help our internal partners navigate the system. Those with access will now be able to run financial reports, view current vehicles assigned, and submit service requests online, all from the CAP portal. CAP is set to be available in Q2 of the 2024 fiscal year. Geotab access for our internal partners. All fleet vehicles are equipped with Geotab's GPS units. Internal partners can now request Geotab access by reaching out to Myra or Riley down at Fleet. Geotab provides multiple services that bring ease of mind to department heads or even managers. The vehicles can be tracked in real time. You'll be able to monitor employees' vehicle use, identify possible collisions and accidents, as well as run reports of idling, speeding, or harsh driving, all from the dashboard. F&T is exploring alternative high voltage power supplies. As more and more electric vehicles are being purchased to replace their gas or diesel powered counterparts, one of the main concerns is not being able to provide charging. F&T is currently researching alternative power supply companies that would live off the grid, such as GenCell, who would provide hydrogen-powered charging stations while also possibly having a hydrogen fuel station as a byproduct. The infrastructure research is being led by our new grant coordinator, Raquel. That is all, and I pass it on to Ella with the events office.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I will be providing the update for the events office. So we are in our new office, which I don't know if anyone's come to visit us yet. We're in that corner, Suite 100, above Mail Document Services. And we are going to start resuming our in-person classroom scheduling. This will be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is for the registered campus organizations, the student groups. Mainly it's for their weekly meetings. They have a lot of back and forth sometimes with our schedulers trying to figure out what classrooms are available. So sometimes in person is a little bit easier than online, but we'll still have the online option available if they want to do that as well. These in-person classroom scheduling hours are only for that service. When students or departments or any other clients want to meet with the events office for discussions regarding events or filming or film permits, that will still be appointment only. So this is just for the registered campus organizations and their general assignment classroom meetings. We have also acquired a couple of new off-campus properties, the South Bay campus in Palos Verdes and the Trust Building, as everyone is pretty much aware of this, but we are now getting some film shoot requests for these locations. For the South Bay campus in Palos Verdes, we've talked with the manager over there, and we are going to tour that space. I believe in the next month, we have a scheduled date where we're going to go tour that area, and we will be handling all the film requests for that location. Our event managers will be working the actual shoot. So we will go down to the actual location and work the shoot. We will do the contract and the film permit and all the arrangements for that film shoot for that location. For the Trust Building, that is currently still being managed by another management company, and all film requests are being handled by a location broker, and they are also handling the staffing for any shoot request. We will issue the film permit for that location at this point, but we will not be doing the contract or the on-site film shoot management. But when UCLA Real Estate Management takes over fully, that will be the plan for the events office, to be doing the contract and also to be on site for any film shoots that would be happening in that building. And we have gotten not a lot of requests, but we have gotten a couple of requests for those locations already. Staying on the filming aspect, how we are being affected by the film, the strikes, the writer's strike and the actor's strike. So the writer's strike, if everyone has not been aware, it's been happening since May 2nd. The actors union has been since July 14th. The main issues of concern are streaming residual issues and AI. For the streaming residual issues, they are receiving a lot less than what they previously received when they were just on networks. And there's also a delay in pay. For the AI, the argument is that the actors and the writers want some guarantees about consent, control, and compensation. So that is still being discussed. And the hope is that this will be resolved by the end of the year, but it is still up in the air. Really, they're just still having talks, and we really don't know. In terms of commercial shoots and fashion shoots, those still are happening on campus. whenever the request is for one of our locations that we manage, the events office, like the quad areas and the general assignment classrooms, those have been pretty successful in being able to happen. We have been getting a lot of requests for our recreation venues like Poly, Drake, pools, the intramural field, the soccer field. Those are almost never available. So a lot of those film shoot requests have been turned down. So this definitely is affecting us. But fortunately, we still are having the commercial shoots and the fashion shoots. So we have a little bit still going on. The good news is we picked up some business in terms of our marketing activations. So a marketing activation is when a external company comes and basically has an activity where they set up. We usually have these happen at Wilson Plaza, sometimes at Bruin Plaza, maybe Court of Sciences. And they basically they're promoting their brand. They're doing something, a giveaway or giving out some sort of coupons or some sort of activity. Some are very simple. They are just like a pop-up tent, giving out some swag. Some are much more complicated where they're doing a build out and building some extravagant thing or bringing a double-decker bus. But we have a lot of approved marketing activations that are going to be happening, especially during that welcome week time. The largest one is the Optimist, which is actually the production company. I can't say the brand yet, but it will be at Bruin Plaza on the 29th and at Wilson Plaza on the 30th. A lot of these brands, I don't know if you've heard of them, but they are mostly like clothing brands, makeup brands. Of course, you know, Twix, the candy brand. So the good news is we were picking up in this area. So we are kind of making up a little bit for some of the film shoots that we are not having. However, these are definitely like way less in terms of revenue, in terms of what we would make on a film shoot. We also have a couple of external events that are happening in the next couple of months. In September, we have the All-In Summit. This is like a big IT tech summit that's happening at Royce Hall, and we're having reception outside. So that's bringing in some revenue, which is great. And we also have our annual Alex's Lemonade event. That's also happening the third weekend of September for any foodies. That is the most amazing event. I would highly recommend going to it. Basically it's like amazing chefs and wine and everything goes to all the funds go to the charity, which is Alex's Loves Lemonade, which is basically for kids cancer. So it's a really good cause, and it's just amazing food and drinks, and it's a really great event. So that will be on the third weekend in September. So that is our update from the events office, and I will give it back to Robin now.
Thanks so much, Ella. A lot of exciting things happening. That's why we save you for last. So it looks like the Q&A feature was hot, and there were a lot of questions that were asked in that feature. Steve, I don't know if there's any that we'd like to read out loud, or how you want to handle that. So I'll kick it over to you, our experts.
Thanks, Robin. So I know we've only got 9 minutes left. So in the interest of time, I'm going to let everyone know there are a number of questions in our Q&A that have already been answered with typed answers. So please sift through them. If you didn't want to be distracted before by them and you were just paying attention to the presentation, we will make sure to capture the answers and post those along with the recording of the presentation. So to prioritize our time, I think I'd like to focus on any questions that were tabbed to be answered live. So I'll go ahead and take the first one here. The question was, is there a way for our students to get priority class enrollment as a benefit of being employed with transportation, an added perk to attract applicants? So the short answer was no, but I didn't want to just leave it at that in the Q&A. Things like that are saved, I've been told, only for like specific groups and classifications of students, such as, you know, ADA or athletes. I was even told that this perk was taken away from one of our classes of students. It might have been the Bruin Access drivers. And if you play this out, I mean, it makes sense if you to do something like this. But if we offered that and it attracted applicants, you know, all the other student employers on campus would start doing the same thing, and then you're basically offering it to all student employees around campus, which would probably become quite a big deal and defeat the original purpose. There is another question here that just came in. When is the RPV campus scheduled to open? And I'm actually not familiar with that UCLA project. Does anyone on the panel happen to know and want to chime in? Otherwise, we could probably maybe do a Google search or something and ask around.
I'm not sure, but we do have this is the Palos Verdes property. So we are, like I said, going to go meet with them, I believe in October. I probably have a lot of answers then.
Let me jump in real quick, Steve. And the Palos Verdes campus is open and functioning in terms of, you know, there are UCLA employees there. At the moment, it's still very few because determinations, you know, sort of long-term determinations about the programs and functions that will be housed there are still under development. And so my understanding, and if Tony or someone else has other information, please jump in. But my understanding is that this year will sort of be a transition year where some functions and programs will gradually move to the PD campus, but the, you know, sort of full operation in terms of, say, a department moving there or a special program moving there permanently is not something that would happen until at least winter, but more likely next fall. So in other words, it's there, it's open, but not much is going on yet.
All right. Thanks a lot, Clinton. I don't think I've missed anything else from the Q&A, but anyone on the panel, let me know if that's the case. But I have no open questions listed on my end. So yeah, with that, I mean, we'll give another 30 seconds maybe so for people to chip in more questions. Don't be shy. Otherwise, you know, I'll kick it back to Robin and Tony. Any last words? Robin, as always, thank you very much for producing our all-staff meeting. To all the panelists and attendees, thank you for coming today. And for Tony, welcome to your first all-staff.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great information. So I appreciate all the presenters today. And I am going to keep the meeting open. So even though we will be extracting the answers to some of the questions, feel free to, you know, take a look at them online. So they will be open for the next 5-10 minutes. So
right,
just as a backup.
And one last question rolled in. Will we be moving to fully in person? This actually is related to the answer I put before regarding if people will be coming in more than they already are, which is just that we're not considering that right now. But, you know, we reserve the right because if operational needs change, then how much people need to be on site may change. So I hope that answers everyone's question. We had hit 100 participants on the dot until someone got sick of my voice and left. So we're at 99. Way to go, everyone. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye.